Donna Coble. You can see her on the screen here. And Donna is with essential oils and with doTERRA, specifically essential oils. And I wanted to take this time in this interview to share with you all why essential oils can be beneficial, how they can be beneficial for you, and how you can use them to help improve your health. Just before we get started, I don't know if you can see with my background here, but I have my roller here of Breathe, which is something that I actually put and roll on my chest periodically to literally help me breathe. And it's been a wonderful essential oil, and I thank Donna for it, to help me during this allergy season. I'm in the Houston market, and oh my gosh, you can't go outside without breathing allergies. So Donna, welcome. Thank you for being with us on the interview here today.
Thank you for having me.
More than my pleasure. I love essential oils. I think doTERRA is high quality, but a lot of our people who are watching this may not understand essential oils, may not know what they are. But before we get started on some of that, give us a little bit of your background. Who are you? Married, kids, all that fun stuff. You know, people like to relate.
I have checked off both of those boxes. I am married. My husband and I adopted 2 children about 6 years ago. They are now 17 and one is about to be 14, going on 41.
Nice.
So it's been quite an adventure. I actually worked in the restaurant industry for the last 16 years. So talk about, people dealing with issues and trauma and all those things. It's just, that's what restaurants are. And then, so I moved to Texas in 2011. And unbeknownst to me, we don't have seasons here. It's just either hot or really, really hot and humid. And there is a period like right now where it's kind of cool, but it never really kills anything off. So I have seasonal threats really bad. I ended up in the hospital for 187 days in 1 year because doctors couldn't figure out what was going on with me. So it was a super expensive year. It cost my husband and I almost $1 million to be able to get out of that year, unabridged with finances, co-pays, follow up with doctor's offices, loss of pay because I was in the hospital so often. So our family was in church one day, and a lady that was with doTERRA had a roller bottle and was trying to give me the roller bottle. And I was so skeptical. Plus I was very guarded because I've had these, reactions to things for years.
Sure.
So she managed to talk me into it. I put it on my hands, similar to the roller bottle you had, and I just started to breathe it in. And it did amazing things for my airways. My sinuses started to, be able to relieve themselves, and my nose wasn't running. It was just amazing to see that just this one little thing. It was on my hands. I didn't take anything internally. It was just on my hands that it had an impact. And I wanted to know more. And I'm a learner by trait. So I don't really do things halfway. So I jumped full in, and I wanted to know how I could do this. And then I found out about a year later that she was making money off of selling the product. And I was like, what? You make an income with this? This is a great idea. How did I not know about this? And then I started to build my doTERRA business. And then in 2020, we had the pandemic. And then I was laid off from the restaurants because most of the restaurants had closed. So I decided to jump full in on Thriving Through Plants, which is my company. And it just has taken off from there, and it's been very successful. So.
Right. Well, let's get one thing out of the way. This is not medical advice. We're not here providing you, if you have any medical issues, obviously you need to get with your medical professional. Absolutely make sure you are talking to your medical professional about anything that shows up in your life. I want to be clear about that. No offense to you. I know you're very well ingrained.
No, none taken. I still follow up with my physician as well. And my physician knows that I use doTERRA, and he actually uses doTERRA now too. So.
Well, there you go. Find a physician that uses essential oils, and doTERRA is preferred, and go from there. So what was this impact? I got my roller bottle here. I put some on my chest because I like to be able to breathe this frequently. My routine is I put this on every night when I go to bed, and it just opens my airways. I brought it to the office for this call. But how these oils working? What's really happening here? If you can give us kind of a layman's version, short.
So every essential oil is a chemical, similar to, like a medication. When you take a medication, it breaks down in your system and it goes to where it needs to go. Essential oils were the original medications. So it works the same way. So the chemical constituents that are in the essential oils work with, so breathe, let's take breathe for example. The chemical constituent that's in breathe can absolutely assist your body in being able to breathe better. So there's Ravinsara in there, there is eucalyptus, which are both heavy hitter for respiratory aid. So that's how it works, very similar to a medication as far as chemical constituents. So when they say like you're going non-toxic, well, there are toxic chemicals and then there are non-toxic chemicals. So that's the big difference, really.
Got it. So how are these produced? I mean, little bottle here with the oil, and that doesn't. Oh, I'm going to need to order some. It doesn't spread too far, and how are these? Give me an idea. Are these plants harvested somewhere with GMOs?
Yes.
What's going on here? As I breathe.
Yes. So like my favorite oil is frankincense, which is actually, yes, it's amazing. It does so many great things. It's called the king of all oils. I always kid that it was one of the gifts of the Magi. If it's good enough for Jesus, it's good enough for me. So the really cool thing about it is that it's only grown, if it's real pure frankincense, it's only grown in like on a mountaintop on the side of a tree. It comes out of a tree. And it takes forever to get to it. It takes a really long time to harvest it. So what we do is that we partner with the growers so that they will only sell their essential oils to doTERRA. And we provide food and water, supplies, whatever their village might need to be able to kind of partner and foster that relationship so that when you're buying a bottle of frankincense, no matter how much it is, that you're putting some good back in the communities.
So I've seen fields of lavender, right? Like fields of tulips up in Denmark, but fields of lavender. So, are people harvesting lavender? Isn't that just real easy? Take the machine, cut it down and press it?
So yes, there are things that you can do. There's lavender fields here in Texas that local lavender that they can use. It's supposed to be very good for your seasonal threats. So with our doTERRA's lavender is actually grown in Bulgaria, and they make sure that it's 100% unadulterated. So when they are harvesting it, they use hands rather than machines so that there's no chance of adulteration. So it's kind of just based on, the quality of oil that you're purchasing. And that the quality that doTERRA has is 100% because they put it on the bottom of their bottles. So on the bottom of the bottle there should be about an 8 to 10 digit number that you can put in a website called source2u.com. And you can find out all the tests that were performed on just that bottle. It's pretty cool.
Sourceu.com?
Source2u.com.
Source2u.
And they'll tell you all the chemicals constituents that are in your bottle. So that there's no adulteration. And that's the big difference between doTERRA and getting your oils off of Amazon. It's kind of like going to the grocery store and buying Fruit Loops to get your fruit and vegetables. It doesn't work that way.
So what you're telling me that if I go to the particular grocery store, whatever it is, and I want to buy essential oils at the grocery store, are you saying that it may not be as pure?
That is what I'm saying, yes.
Wow. So purity is something doTERRA is really proud of, how it's harvested, how it's tracked. Obviously, there is a number on the bottom of this one. Wow, that's interesting. I'm going to have to put that number in. Wow. Absolutely cool. So you had mentioned earlier, people, you're selling this. This is you're making a living out of doing this now. I know some people have a issue with multi-level marketing, which I know, doTERRA is, but I know a lot of people have been very successful at it, and you're one of them. So how'd you get over the whole multi-level stigma?
Well, I didn't know about multi-level marketing, honestly. And it wasn't really a stigma as much as it was, I really believe in the products, and I really believe that everybody's life could be better if they try one oil for 30 days. And that's been like my plan is I don't care what you buy from me. I don't care if you ever buy it again, but try an oil for 30 days and see if it has an impact. And if it does, then come back and we'll talk about the next oil that you can use. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the health.
Got it. So that's one thing I know you did with me, and I appreciate it. I told you, a month or so ago that, the allergies hit here in Houston. I was going nuts. My daughter, snoring up a storm. My wife says I was snoring up a storm. I don't believe her, but she says that's got to be true. And, I started applying Breathe at night, and at least it opened up, and we applied it to my 5-year-old as well. And it opened up for her, and I believe in it as well. I think it's there. Now, of course, I go to my doctor for major issues. Let's again remind everybody, but there's so many other areas. Like there's a blue. You guys have blue, right? Which is a or you got muscle relaxer. What's
Deep blue, yes, sir.
Yeah, I knew
Deep
blue was
blue.
in there somewhere,
Yeah.
but I tell you, I've tweaked my back a few times because I was lifting weights that I shouldn't be lifting, and doing it the first time after eating more than I should have, and that really got in there. I mean, it got in deep into that muscle, more
That's
than the Vicks
osmanthus and
Vapor Rub or
peppermint.
whatever. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what other common things, like the nasal being the one here in Houston, or the muscle relaxant, what else is pretty
So the
common?
most common one, like anxious feelings and sleep, those are two really big things that go together. And so if you're someone who has a big presentation and you feel sick to your stomach and you're like, and you don't know what it is, and just simply by placing oils in your hands and breathing in deeply can have an overall calming sensation on you. Lavender is a really great oil for calming. Adaptive, which is a doTERRA blend, has amazing oils like neroli, which have been known to work with your amygdala, which is your feel good part of your body, to send messages to the rest of your body to tell them it's okay, you're going to be okay. It's like a warm, comforting hug, which helps when you have those anxious feelings. I know myself, I've suffered with anxious feelings for years. And it's neroli has become one of my favorite oils to just put on, on your pulse points, just on your hands, and just cup over your face and just breathe deeply. Not only the deep breathing helps because you're expanding your lungs, you're getting oxygen where it needs to go, but you're also incorporating those essential oils, which can work together to be really impactful.
Well, put that oil on my next order list. I got anxiety is a big, this pandemic has created a lot of mental issues. I'm in an executive suite where I office, and in my executive suite here, there's about a third of them. I was worried my landlord was over renting, but about a third of them are all in mental health. And I tell you, it's constant, 7 days a week. When I'm in the office, there's people coming in and out. Mental health is a big issue. So I imagine anxiety is something that a lot of people deal with. Listen, we don't have a lot of time here. We got to have you back to go into some more details. Maybe we can build a series if you're willing about this, maybe talk a little more details about specific oils, some areas, how to use them, how to find them. That would be great. But if people wanted to talk to you more, how did they get a hold of you?
I have a website. It's Thriving Through Plants, THRU, like the drive-through, thrivingthroughplants.com. They can make appointments there. They can shop specific oils. They can just, chat with me.
And if somebody wanted to bring this to their community, to their, peers and friends, can they sign up for you and be a distributor as well? Is that an option?
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So we'll talk more about that off into the future. I try to keep these under 15 minutes, something hopefully somebody can pop in here, listen to, gain some great value. You provided that value. Thank you very much. Again, this is the interview, and I'm Peter Catalano with Catalano Financial, and finances are more than just a return or numbers on a spreadsheet. Finances are about living the life you want to live. Thank you, Donna, so very much for joining us today and talking and introducing us into the health arena. Because without good health, you're not going to really live the life you want to live. So y'all, thank you so much for joining us. I'm Peter Catalano, the interview. Donna, thank you. And y'all have a great day.